Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 14th chapter, entitled The Forest of Enjoyment, text 39. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Prabhupada Ki. Saintly persons who are friends to all living entities have a peaceful consciousness. They have controlled their senses and minds, and they easily attain the path of liberation, the path back to Godhead. Being unfortunate and attached to the miserable material conditions, a materialistic person cannot associate with them. Purport. The great saint Jad Bharat described both the miserable condition and the means to get out. The only way out of it is association with devotees. And this association is very easy. Although unfortunate people also get this opportunity due to their great misfortune, they cannot take shelter of pure devotees, and consequently they continuously suffer. Nonetheless, this Krishna consciousness movement insists that everyone take to this path by adopting the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The preachers of Krishna consciousness go from door to door to inform people how they can be relieved from the miserable conditions of material life, as stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. By the mercy of Krishna and Guru, one can get the seed of devotional service. If one is a little intelligent, he can cultivate Krishna consciousness and be freed from the miserable conditions of material life. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite girim yat kripa tamam bande shiguru dinatarinam paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. The Forest of Enjoyment. What a fun chapter. Where we are hearing the naked truth of our miserable fortunes in the material world. Misery and fortune in the same line. See, the truth is always beneficial if one is to receive it with faith. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, as we say, Krishna consciousness is love masquerading as a philosophy. There's all these verses, sometimes complex, technical philosophy. In the Bhagavatam we find anecdotes about different interactions of individuals with the Supreme Lord, with their gurus. So exciting narratives, drama, war, love. And here we are getting an understanding of what happens when the living entity tries to enjoy in this material world. And this material world being likened to this forest of material enjoyment. So having heard different texts, the jiva considers his family members to be the prime important people in his life. But here they are compared sometimes to foxes and jackals, that they are plundering his hard-earned money, which the miserly man is trying to hoard and protect. But some or the other, mommy, daddy, husband, with sweet words or sometimes harsh words, he cannot protect that money. He cannot personally enjoy it himself, and it is taken away. So all of these verses are to inspire us about a different world, a different plane of existence, where instead of trying to be the central enjoyer and looking out everywhere to see how to expand one's own field of enjoyment, we turn to the original identity. We become who we really are. We get real. And we accept devotional service, where we are actually the happy, loving servants of Krishna. And here, the misfortune of the materialistic person is delineated. That because of being unfortunate, and this misfortune is this attachment to the miserable material conditions. Can you see the misfortune? The material conditions are miserable. Like these days, we hear, and rightly so, the phenomena of gender-based violence, domestic violence. Within our movement also, we have a whole office. Anyway, if you don't know the office, hopefully you don't act in a way that you get to find out who they are. But in that department of the movement, they're handling cases of misconduct. And some of those are gender-based violence, domestic violence, abuse of power, different violations of the standard behavior of a Vaishnava. So you can well imagine someone who's undergoing domestic violence is getting lefts and rights and uppercuts from the person whom they're supposed to be receiving unconditional love till death do us part. And then by some mystical and unfortunate turn of events, as it sometimes happens, that person becomes attached and interprets this as some form of love and affection. That if said spouse does not put their hands on them or abuse them verbally or this, they interpret it as, oh, now she doesn't love me, or now he doesn't love me, he doesn't care. Then they start to behave in ways to arouse some sort of anger or disappointment in the other, so that they can verbally abuse or, put their hands on them, whatever that abuse is. So that may not be you or me sitting here, it may be, but consider how unfortunate that you become attached to those conditions of abuse, that when it is absent, you yourself try to provoke a situation where you can undergo that abuse, because you think this is a sign that there's still love, there's still affection. So we become unfortunate when we become attached to the material conditions of this world, where we think that without unrestricted sense gratification, poor me, why did I meet the Hare Krishnas? Now I cannot just have one cold beer. I cannot engage unrestrictedly in eating whatever I want. Sometimes even the devotees lament in these ways. One devotee in our outreach in the country of Swaziland, just few brahmacharis, and I was the head cook, and I'm not really. I cook for hungry men, not people with taste for eating. And we were walking through the shop, and we went past the dairy section, and his eyes fell on a block of cheese. He was like, Prabhu, can we get some cheese? And I know the state of our bank account. I was like, Prabhu, well, maybe just get the sliced one. And he just lost it. He said, Prabhu, I gave up so much enjoyment. You know how much kami spend? This, he told me how much the cheese cost. This they blow in 10 minutes. And we have given up all this enjoyment, and we can't even eat some cheese. And I felt him. I was like, Prabhu, just get the cheese. Krishna will supply us money. So this discontent for being robbed of sense gratification, which is the mission of conditioned life. We didn't come here to become pure devotees, lovers of Krishna. Samsara Dhavanara Lida Loka is what we're getting. But this was not the mission to come here and perform pure devotional service, controlling mind and senses, engaging them in service. The mission was to enjoy, separate from Krishna. We are the Lord, we are the masters, we are in control. It's about me and mine. So, unfortunately, material nature is very sticky. The more you deal with it, the more entangled in her complexities we get. And so when one is attached to these conditions where Maya promises enjoyment, tomorrow, next week, when you get your degree, when you get your home, you will enjoy. And therefore we chase the carrot of her promises. When you get attached to that, then you are attached to the misery of material life, because everything is temporary. She never really delivers on her promises, Maya. And if she does, all that does is it increases our greed for the same sense gratification. Now we are like raging for it. And then we get hit by the repercussions, because material nature means while there's some enjoyment, it is married like on a coin, heads and tails. So you try to enjoy this side, you have to pay the bill on the other side, suffering. So such a materialistic person cannot associate with the pure devotees. This is the even greater in magnitude misfortune. You are miserable, you're tied hands and feet, you cannot free yourself. Maya is victimizing you repeatedly. And when you cry, she says, shh, I'm not beating you as hard as I'm beating those people and those people. You compare yourself. I'm not as bad as them. So everyone says, I am all good. How are you? I'm all good. I'm cool. No, we're suffering, burning in the heart. So many unfulfilled desires, hunger and thirst, whips. We've embraced these as this is life. Come on, this is life. But for the soul, this is not life. He is the eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Our hankering is for that dimension where joy at every moment. Word is song, walk is dance, food is feast, every day is a festival. That type of life, you've heard about it. Even when you hear it, it's just like, yeah. No. So when there's this attachment to the temporary, to the mode of passion which gives instant gratification, although it turns later to misery, then one has no taste for the association of saintly persons. Who are these saintly persons? First of all, they are friends to all living entities. That means big heart, no discrimination based on whatever category you want. Simply being able to see the spiritual spark, the part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore able to be a well-wisher. Sama saveshu bhuteshu. Sees with equal vision. And is the friend. So what is the use of a friend in one's life? First of all, anyone thinks there's any use of a friend? Show of hands. Some have discovered this friendship is like a scam, huh? Yes, there's so much value in having friends. What would you say is a good friend? Of course, there's also a bad friend. There's also value in that. So why would you say there's value in having a friend? Those who raise their hands. Yes, Prabhu.
Because he can honestly kind of correct you when you say the truth.
This is the Vaishnava assessment of friendship. Yes, they can tell you the truth and not cater to your false ego. The opposite of such friendship is when the friends actually, they relish to see you walking over a cliff, just finding out how real life is. When you suffer, it's like... Therefore, there's greater sympathy. People can identify with the friend suffering. Oh, we heard that this happened. You lost all your money in that investment. Inside, they're just like, he thought he was going to be rich quick. But if you have some success, not many friends can sympathize with that. Oh, you've changed. Now he thinks he's better than us. Oh, he took sannyas. Rascal. I know him, this nonsense. He got a promotion. She got a promotion. He must have politicked his way there. He bribed his way there. Classic story. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, the son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, gives the village man who was seen sitting, presiding over a case at the high court. Some village friends came to report, I saw him there. Oh, what was he doing there? No, he's become a judge. Nah, judge? Him? We grew up with him, yeah. No, he's actually become a judge. Maybe he was just sitting there just to listen to the case. No, he was sitting there, he had the stick, he was presiding over a case. Maybe they were just filming some skit. No, you cannot accept that their own village friend has become a judge. So there's no shortage of such friends, actually, in the age of Kali. And so the saintly persons are not such friends. In the translation in the Sanskrit, this nyastadanda, persons who have given up envying others. This is at the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, just see, no envy. Giving mercy even while not looking, Pujari, boom. That is a friend. A friend indeed is one who gives Mahaprasad. So, nyastadanda, persons who have given up envying others. It said of the Bhagavatam, it is for those nimatsaranam satam. The satam, the saintly, they are free of this envy. Then when one is not envious, they can actually be a friend. Many countries suffer corruption. Oh, corruption. Means that there's money. Budgets are there allocated for certain aspects of uplifting society. But what do the authorities do? We've got this 7.5 billion francs, maybe. I don't know if it's an insult here about corruption. Maybe it's well-dressed corruption. Some countries are famous for it. There's so much money, they think, what do these people know about 7.5 billion? We will take half of it because we're important elected officials and they get to use. And then it goes to the regional officers. What do these people on the ground know about half of that money? By the time it gets to the people, if you have the 0.5, you're fortunate. That means they are envious of the people they are meant to protect and take care of. The saintly person is the well-wisher.